guarded two different plays really, really well.
Coach, you were outscored by 7 in the second half today, allowed 43 points to Villanova in the final 20 minutes. You know, up 60 points earlier this season to UConn in the second half. What do you think has been kind of the biggest reason for the second half struggles?
UConn game has nothing to do with today's game. That's what I think.
You see the crazier ending than that before with all, whistles and changes and stuff like that?
Maybe, I don't know. I've seen a lot of basketball. Yeah, I mean, the refs got the call right. It wasn't out of bounds on Jaden. They fixed it. We thought they would be switching. When it was the first inbound play, we thought they'd be switching. They wouldn't. Perkins made a great play, made a play on the ball. And the second play, great scouting by them. They knew what was coming, and they guarded it well. We could have ran it better, and that's it. We just got to keep working and keep getting better on defense, better on discipline, better with our execution of our stuff.
Can I mention pregame if you were going to be a +7 on 3-pointers made, you feel pretty good about that?
Yeah.
Just the job you did them from 3, and then what was the difference from them offensively?
Yeah, guarded them well from three in the first half. You hold one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country to 7. You feel good about it, but they made some timely ones, and Brickus' late one was an error in coverage execution, but some of the other ones, which is tough to swallow, they just weren't on our terms. We guarded them from 3 pretty good. Every single time Eric Dixon shoots it, I think it's going in, even at the end of the half. He showed that. He made a big one late where you can't be close enough. They're a really, really, really good offensive team.
And as far as Justin, just good to see him, obviously, in his first start, play so well.
Yeah, I was texting with his parents before the game. It's not a kid I've ever coached harder since George Mason, and I promised him that in recruiting him, and his parents looked me in the eye and said that's exactly what they wanted, and turned down some big-time schools to come play for us at George Mason. And through his time being out of the rotation, he's been exemplary in his work every day, and we talked about it before the game. It was not a doubt in anyone's mind that he'd have a good game today, and he's just getting better and better and better. And all our young guys the same. My husband Mila, obviously Mila's not here today out with illness, but he's a good step. Hopefully, a big confidence builder for him.
And just a step forward Corey's taken recently, kind of under the radar, but I think he's played really well.
Same. He's getting older. He's young. He's just turned 21, but just continues to work, continues to accept coaching. He by far had our best game at Creighton the other day, and put together another pretty good performance tonight. And again, had some lapses like they all did. I did. We talked about it in the locker room. Every person in our program look themselves in the mirror and say, how could we get better? Starting with me. How could we be better? How can I coach these guys better? How can I put them in better situations in games to play to their strengths more, to execute more, to get the shared purpose higher?
Ken, as you assess this game in the lead up, obviously everybody knows how good Eric Dixon is. Mocha Papa's been playing well lately. How did you plan out the balance of knowing you had to focus on Dixon and then figuring out everybody else?
Yeah, it was tough for us. It was tough for us. They start to traditional bigs in size, but Eric Dixon, he's the best player in the country. I was at the Celtics Kings the other night. I think he's a first-round draft pick. He's an NBA wing today. He's so good from all over the floor. I thought our guys did a pretty good job on him. Wooga, a very, very, very talented. Longino, Jameer, who we know from the A-10, very, very, very talented group. And, it's difficult. It's difficult. We do not double team in the post. And you have to against these guys because they're so smart, so disciplined.
To follow up on that, your view of the people we've heard from of Dixon being an NBA player, the judgment was a year ago that he wasn't yet. How far do you think he's come?
He is now. He's going to play a long time in the NBA. He's the best player in college basketball.
Could you guys figure shoot as many threes as that? Was it their defense or was that the plan?
If we're open, we'll shoot them. We have good shooters. We were settling for some early, but Oh, actually, to start the game, we thought we got some really good looks. To start the game, we weren't making. We wanted to push it a little harder in transition, and then we did. We got some good looks, and they started falling. We actually turned down some. Jaden Pierre, and we got to get to him, help him get better. He's turning down good shots to take tougher ones. You're never going to be as open as when you first catch the ball, and we got to get to him and keep him confident and shooting the ball.
Coach, obviously you're shorthanded today, illness, Hopkins still out with the knee. How do you keep your guys focused and just focusing on the game, not about being shorthanded?
We lack nothing. We lack nothing. The standard is the standard. The players that we have are good enough to run their hardest in defensive transition, to close out to shooters with the high hand, to close out to drivers short. They're good enough to jump to the ball. They're good enough to be the low man. They're good enough to stand up guys in the post. They're good enough to be first to the floor for loose balls. They're good enough to run their hardest in transition, to pass to the open man, cut, take open shots, drive to the rim. If you don't have a layup, play off 2 feet, fine. They're good enough to do those things. And everything I mentioned would be the exact same if we had Bryce Hopkins, if we had Wesley Cardette, if we had Ryan Mila. The standard is the standard. And the Lord is my shepherd. We lack nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.